It's been over a week and still no improvement at the Beitbridge Border post. Hundreds of truck drivers are still stuck there. This is due to an apparent electronic system problem on the Zimbabwean side. Drivers are running out of food and water. So let's get an update with our reporter Manqoba Mchunu. Manqoba, we have been talking about this for a week now. We spoke to the Home Affairs Minister, who told us that he was getting frustrations from his Zimbabwean counterparts. The Zimbabwean government was saying we're resolving it and things should get better in the coming days. What are you seeing now? Are they getting better?
Well, Clement, I can certainly tell you that the situation is far from getting better here at the Beitbridge Border post. I can tell you now that the queues are still very long. They're still snaking all the way back to Kusina Town. I just want to ask my colleague, just to give you a hint of what is happening here. So to get a picture, Clement, of what we are talking about, you can see here that long queue of trucks that have been waiting here. And we understand that some of them have been waiting here for several days, trying, of course, to get through to the Zimbabwean side of the border. But, of course, they're being frustrated by not only the infrastructure development that is happening on the Zimbabwean side of the border, but also the issue of the new tolling system that has been introduced by the Zim border as part, of course, of the upgrades of the Beitbridge Border post on the Zimbabwean side. And I can tell you, Clement, that there are quite a number of frustrated drivers who are here. They've been waiting for days, trying to get through to the border. I've spoken to some of them who've told me that they've been here for as long as 7 days, trying and they're really stuck here at this particular point. They cannot move because you'll understand that they're driving trucks and they have to move and proceed towards the border, so they can't leave their trucks. And what is making the situation worse, Clement, is the fact that there are no ablution facilities, there is no water service, there is no food that they get here. So many of them saying that it is slowly turning into a humanitarian crisis. But I want to speak to one of the drivers who is here just to get a sense from them, Clement. Thank you very much for your time, Gilbert. Tell us, you yourself are one of those who are stuck here. What is the situation like for you?
The situation is very bad, Baba. We've been here since Monday. We're trying to cross to Zim side. But the thing is, while we are on the queue, there are no facilities like toilets, no water, no food. So our lives are at risk. Even thugs, they are coming to us at night, striking in our trucks. Even during daytime, we're being attacked by the thugs.
Let me speak about you. You have been here since Monday, but just looking at how much you have moved, how much would you say you have moved since Monday? How many kilometers, how many meters would you say you have moved?
From Monday up to now, we've moved for about 5 kilometers. Today is Friday, that's 5 days. And we haven't reached the point where we are supposed to be at the border. We are left with about 4.5 kilometers to the border right now.
Are you fearing for your lives, given that, there are criminal elements, and do you think that perhaps this is slowly turning into a humanitarian crisis?
Precisely. Our lives are at a very, very, very big risk. Well, these guys are pouncing on us. They're coming with guns, machetes, knives. So our lives are at a very, very, very big risk.
And in terms of, what would your plea then be to government? We know that the issue is not here on the South African side, but on the Zimbabwean border side, where you have to pass. What would your plea be then?
The problem is on our Zimbabwean side. South African side has got no problem. Our parking area on the Zimbabwean side is very small, and they are not yet into their new system which they have just introduced. They are not used into their new system which they have just introduced. So the thing is, the trucks are taking long on the Zimbabwean side. That's what the problem is.
And tell me, you have to also pay new tariffs that have been imposed by the Zimbabwean government. What are those tariffs that you have to pay?
It's $201 for a truck, for a single entry. That's $200 US.
Okay. Thank you very much for speaking to us. I just want to move again and speak to perhaps another truck driver who's also been here. You can hear the frustration, Clement, from these truck drivers. They really have no other choice but to wait here in the line because they're carrying a lot of goods in these trucks that need to be protected as well. And they're saying that availability or the visibility of police as well is another issue that is problematic, because there are no police or security services that are here. But let me get a sense from you, Baba, about your frustration. You've also been waiting here in line. What has the situation been like for you?
To my side, I think from before it was too much, but now I think the queues is a bit going differ. Yeah.
Are you seeing any movement? Do you think that it's getting better in terms of movement?
Yeah, on like today, it's been a bit different compared to these other last days. Yeah.
And I mean, it must be difficult for you having to wait here. You are away from your family, and you don't even know when you're likely to get to where you're going.
Yeah, very difficult. Because sometimes you come there, papers are out, then you wait for 4 or 5 days in the queue. That is very difficult. You never know when are you going to come up to the same side.
And in terms of food, Baba, I know there's no facilities available. There are hawkers that are selling here. What do you do for food and water?
There is nothing we can do. Water, no toilets, no what. We just follow the queue. The food, sometimes we cook. Look, now the temperature here is too hot. So we end up buying this food. Sometimes those food are not healthy.
Okay, thank you for speaking to us. Clement, well, you hear for yourself some of the frustrations there from the driver. So the situation is not getting any better, Clement, as you can hear from some of these truck drivers, just really telling us about their frustrations here. They're not sure when they'll be able to get to their destinations, but it has quite a lot of economic impact as well, not only for the trucking companies, but also for the country itself, given the fact that this is one of the busiest borders here in the African continent.
Yeah, our reporter Manqoba Mchunu, thank you for that update. Stay with us.